So we did this other work earlier this year. Our advisor had us work for this conference called Izmir, which we didn't know anything about, and had the fantastic focus of music librarians, which seemed nothing like we would be interested in. And basically, it's like ways of cataloging and finding large libraries of music. They have like a large focus on Bach and scores and things. But what we started doing was we did this project just as a research example, where we went through and we tagged 600 songs with our friends. So like pink ones are trance and
blue ones are techno, gray ones are IDM.
So, but the deal is that we tagged them because we knew what genre because we were listening to it. But then we had the computer analyze all the music. And we told the computer, we wrote this little like artificial intelligence algorithm that said sort it. So if you see here, basically what it's doing is it's taking all that analysis data for each song, and songs that sound similar are starting to automatically group together. So the idea is instead of having your library like an Excel spreadsheet like iTunes where it's like artists and da-da-da, it'd be cool to have like a two-dimensional map like this where music that sounded similar clumped together. And it has applications in things like
well, okay, so probably the most obvious is maybe like in sound design. If you have, just like you doing Foley or something, you need some crunchy snow sound. And you have a sound that's sort of like you want, but it's not what you actually want. And now your whole library of sounds could just map around it, and now you can get to all of your sounds that might be similar to that right away.
So that's a cool use of it. The other use that we're kind of more excited about is the potential to work kind of backwards. Where, say you have two ideas musically, and you analyze them, and stick them on the map here, and basically ask the computer to interpolate all the spaces in between and come up with variations. That basically it's like the equivalent of like image morphing, but for music. And so then it's like generating material that's components of both pieces.
Because we don't want to actually write music.
Yeah, we're trying hard.
So what you see on the screen right now is the map's been sorted, and this what you're looking at right now is what we tag as the genres to be, how they're clumping together. So you can see all the trance and techno and house, which is green, kind of around each other, and the IDM and drum and bass, which is the gray and the brown, kind of clumping together. And so let's see. You can't see the menu, unfortunately, because
but either way, it's playing.
You could see what I'm seeing. There's a lovely rainforest out here.
Well, let's just play some. So, but you can also. So this is the gradient mode, which
This shows like the analysis data.
Yeah. So
that's the color distribution is basically instead of seeing what we tag the song as, this is how the computer sees it. So you can see the smooth transition between it's like. This stuff is maybe a little faster, and so the colors are actually not super important so much that you just see the distribution of kind of how things are similar.
So yeah, the ones that are blue should have similarities. So some of the things we look at is like tempo, kind of rhythmic structure,
pitch,
and pitch, all kinds of, yeah. And then we can talk about it later if you want, like spectral stuff and blah, blah.
So yeah, that's the short of what we do stuff.
Sweet.
Well, so this is, yeah, let's hear for FLIPMU. These two guys are kind of like a microcosm of a lot of stuff that's going on now. And then they're creating, some of the tools that you guys are creating are stuff that other people could maybe use. So actually, let's go ahead and bring the rest of our artists up, if you want to come up. We have an incredible lineup of people. I'm going to introduce themselves so you know which one is which, in case you only know them from records, and haven't seen them live, which is a shame. But one of the things you guys have done is this sync server is something that other people might be able to build on, right? Yes. How many of us are dealing with sync issues? Being on stage, and I know the glitch bombers. You wouldn't know it from seeing their show, but I know that a lot of us can, a lot of people pull off these guys can pull off amazing shows, but if the tools could get out of their way, they could, I think even more cool stuff could happen. Stand up. And they're all 3 feet tall. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's been a great achievement for people of different heights. You all want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Justin from the Glitch Bomb.
My name is Richard Devine. I'm the other Asian guy. My name is Ed, also known as Edit from the Glitch Mob.
That's right. Richard Devine. Some of you guys might know me.
What's up? I'm Moldover.
Hey, I'm Brian of TRIFONIC.
Hey, I'm Ben. I make music as DERU.
I should have invited somebody that elicited booze. All right, well, so let's talk about, well, you guys want to start with sync? The idea was to talk about a few issues, but let's start with the glitch mob and talk about what you guys are doing on stage. You know, yesterday we got the kind of why Ableton is cool explanation, but can you talk a little bit about how you guys are working on stage and how control's getting routed and how sync is working and what is and isn't working? Yeah.
It's a long story.
Well, but just the sync issue.
The sync issue. Well, we fixed the sync issue by moving everything to one computer. That's not to say it can't be done, but we used to, we were using 4 laptops at one point, and then we moved to 3, and we were unsuccessfully able to get the 3 laptops to play nicely. So, I mean, how did you do it? 50% chance. Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, roughly 50. What was it? I think.
That's better than some drummers, but not most.
I think we had been playing shows together for about 3 years, and Ableton did not crash a single time in many different environments until we introduced sync, and then it crashed 7 out of 10 times. I mean, that might also have something to do with the fact that it was 3 computers.
Right. Well, you used to just like beat match, right? Yeah, I mean, like basically we used to do the beat matching thing, but as soon as the set got like a little more involved, we started using sync. But there'd be all these kind of like little quirks about it, like you know, for some reason, if somebody's computer stopped or something, it might screw up the whole entire thing, or you know, if I don't know, just like some glitch might happen, and then like somebody's lemur thing might just completely screw up the thing, and not the good kind of glitch. Yeah, not the good kind of glitch, like the kind of glitch where noticeably someone's computer is completely off, and there's absolutely no way to fix it because they're slave to the master computer, and then you know it's kind of like a whole clusterfuck after that. So you know, so we basically just kind of, you know, I guess at some point we're just like, well, let's just buy a tower and do everything off of a tower. And then we're like, well, before we buy a tower, let's just see if the laptop can pull it all off. And actually, strangely enough, like we loaded everything onto a single laptop, plugged all the lemurs into one laptop, and it all worked. And it didn't choke at all. And we've actually never had a crash since. And yeah, so I mean, that's kind of what the future holds for us now, is just running everything off one computer. And but the only problem is like, you know, still issues of taking live audio input. Like if you wanted to play guitar through Amplitude or something while your Ableton is running with 3 lemurs plugged into it and stuff, then you still have a problem. So I think in the end we still have to buy a tower.